I would like to welcome you all here this evening. And some of you I've already welcomed, so this is your second introduction. For those of you that are just joining us, I want to thank everybody sincerely for coming tonight. This is a really special event for us. It's been a long time coming. We've been working on this project collectively for many years, much of the content for 50 years, as I've already explained. This is VAC's 50th anniversary. So there have been a lot of preparations and a lot of review and a lot of looking through old material and archive collections, and this is a result of that, the first of many. As we were reviewing much of the content, what stuck out to us most was this dance collection. So you're at the opening night, of course, of this wonderful exhibit. We're honoring some beautiful photographers that had been with us for a long time as well. So this is, like I said, the first of many. This Dancing at the Source is really something that connects us to the start of the Art Center. It's really passionate people involved in these programs early on that we get to then experience again. And luckily, we have many people that are still just as passionate as they were then here with us tonight. So you're going to get to experience that. As we get back to VAC and its 50 years, I do invite you to come back if you have that opportunity to view these photos, these wonderful memories and images that were captured then in the space when it's not so full of chairs. But tonight's main feature is, of course, the dance, the performances. And Trina, who is graciously here with us, has been the catalyst. She has pushed us through this and given us so much information. Jesse and I are very, very blessed with the opportunity to have the images and to see them, but we don't know the content. So Trina has shared so much with us, and we are looking for the rest of the community to also give their input if they have it in some of these images. You'll notice that some of the wall tags need a little more description. With that said, we are celebrating the dancers, we are celebrating the photographers, and also Ernest Morgan, which I know many of you knew personally. I personally did not have the pleasure of meeting him, but I have met many people, and when they speak of him, they get this twinkle in their eye, and they get this smile on their lips, and that itself is such a beautiful legacy. So I do feel that I have met him through spirit, through all of you here, and mostly through Trina. So I appreciate that. I'm going to hand this over and give you this beautiful lei. Let me just put this down.
And I just have to give big mahalos for Jesse, who's going in and out of the door. And Emily, because and myself, because the three of us really have worked our okolies off, and it's really been only the three of us to do all of this. And you have to acknowledge, Jesse was a student of mine when he was 16 years old, and he's now still young. Anyway, and he digitized all of these images, remarkably. And so I have to say that if you're not in it, it wasn't my choice, okay? You don't have to come after me. But I do want to lay them because they have been incredible, just incredible. When we first talked about it, we had no idea what the outcome would be, and it's beyond our wildest imaginations, actually. So, Emily.
Thank you.
And so I do want to say a few comments before we begin the show. And really, my goal was to not use notes, but I didn't want to chance it because the senior brain, I don't know. So anyway, I do want to just warmly welcome you to this intimate performance. So it's kind of like we're performing in your living room. So you 60 are very special for that reason, okay? And the show's going to showcase 4 generations of dancers, starting from us, older ones, into Keiki. So we are going to push through the show because we don't want our Keiki to fall asleep. They're in the last piece. because we chronologically are going to go from sort of the oldest choreography, or Ernest, we're calling Ernest the base choreography, into the vibrancy of the young generation. And so putting to this show together was like going down memory lane. And I was really overwhelmed with my dance memories that filled my heart. Some were joyful, some were tragic, some soulful, and then always filled with the very essence of life, of connection to people, art, and nature. Well, what do you know? That is Volcano Arts Center's mission statement, okay? So it wraps it up in 6 words. The last thing I want to say before we start the show is that Ernie always talked about forming a senior citizen dance company. And here we are. Unfortunately, he passed before he was our age, 32 years ago. It's unimaginable for those of us who know him that he's been gone that long. Anyway, so what I encountered in putting the show together, because we have guests, Cleo Parker Robinson came all the way from Denver to be with us, and then and our front row, who've known her for 50 years as well. And then there are my buddies, Mauli from Kauai, and Faye from Maui. So it's quite a reunion for us, and we've been enjoying that. But so my challenge in putting the show together was, does it fit your hip replacement surgery, or your cataract surgery, or it was a different kind of challenge than what we had before. People were concerned about their hairdos and their makeup, and now it was kind of a different experience. I am going to go now to ask Jesse to say a little bit about the archive project, because this is a fundraiser for 2 organizations. One is the Big Island Dance Council, which is also 50 years old, and which Ernest Morgan founded. And then the other is the archive project with Volcano Arts Center.
Aloha. I'm a child of the Volcano Arts Center. So I've also grown up with a lot of this imagery over the course of my life. My mother, Dina Kegler, she served on the board back in the 1980s and 90s. She was a photographer covering the Volcano Arts Center even back in the 1970s. So I certainly remember hearing about a lot of the things that are featured here in our show and hearing of a lot of the individuals that have been a part of the legacy of the Volcano Arts Center. So it's been really good to go on ahead and see this reunion of sorts and people coming forward. And a little bit tricky for me though, because I spend a lot of time with these images. And so I remember everyone as they were before the time I was born. So adjusting my mind to that's been a little bit of a trick, but it's also been a pleasure. The Heritage Archive Committee, we started back in 2020. It started out with really just me going through the filing cabinets at the Arts Center during COVID. Everything shut down, visitors aren't coming through, gallery is very silent. And so I found my opportunity to go through bins that hadn't been touched in a long time. I remember a box of slides, just like one of those little banker boxes. And inside were probably about 300 slides, all on top of each other, layers of dust on them, and all sorts of things. And that's the condition of the photos. Started there, and maybe you had something really good if it was stored by one of our photographers. But it's been a real matching of just going through everything. And so other than remembering that little box with slides, it then turned into a little bit of a PTSD for me. Scanning manually, one by one, 20,000 images. Hearing the sound of the scanner go, imagine that for, the better part of like a year and a half. So, so it's great to actually see things printed on the walls. So, it's been labor intensive, and tonight you're only seeing 20 images plus some that Trina brought out of her own personal home archive. The photos that have been printed up today have gone through additional restoration. So that's, in general, someone like myself donating up to 15 hours an image, just going in line by line and erasing out dust or hair or scratches and doing it to what's known as a Smithsonian Federal Classification. That's FAGI 5. It's very technical, but this way it can be qualified to be submitted to Smithsonian or anything else on a federal level that might want to go on ahead and have our history shared with them. And so that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to take analog resources that haven't seen a digital process yet and revitalize them, give them new life, and preserve them. So over the course of the next month and over the coming years, we're going to have community contribution days. And those community contribution days, we encourage you to please come in, bring in whatever it is. If it's a poster, if it's a little print that's been water damaged, we'll even take that. And so we're going to scan all of those as close to original sources as we can and return them to you, because we are, and this is maybe my final essential note, we're a digital archive. We don't have the infrastructure to support storing a lot of physical media. And so we want to give it back to the community, but ensure that these stories, these images, these videos, even for some of the VHS you've seen, we've digitized 150 VHS tapes and demolded them and try to color correct, but you can't really do that with a VHS. So we're trying our best, but we need community participation. And so we very much look forward to your continued support. We encourage you to visit our website, volcanoartscenter.com. And in the next 2 weeks, you'll get an email from us that will be highlighting the launch of our Heritage and our Archival webpage. And over the course of the next year, you will be able to go into our complete archives and view every image, and we're putting them on so you can actually search people by name, event, time. We're trying to go on ahead and make this accessible to everyone.
So I'm supposed to use one of these. Yes, my name is Faye Hovey. It's nice to see so many Pam, Auntie Pam's here. Well, a round of applause for Auntie Pam. I mean, we're just really, this is the way it's been since I got here, since I arrived on Wednesday night and Thursday started coming to rehearsals and running into people that I have known for years. I'm going, I know who they are. And they're looking at me and I realize, wow, I know who it is. And it's part of the reunion that Jesse was talking about, part of the reunion of spirit. And so we're just, I'm just so happy to be with you all. And I know you're happy to be with us too, all together. So, you know, karmically, we're all supposed to be here at this time. And I feel that. And I would just invite you all to hold the energy in your heart and hands. Everyone has connected with the production, has put so much love. And then we've all felt Ernest with us. And we're going to be evoking Ernest Morgan as well. And at that time, when we were all here together in the misty uplands, right? When we were all younger, many of us. So I want to invite you all to hold the energy for us. We're pleased to bless our show today with two opening oli, chanted by Mauliola Cook, another longtime cultural aficionado from the 1980s. Mauli first came to the Big Island in 1980 when she was hired to teach Spanish at UH Hilo. She started taking dance classes with Ernest and Trina, and never looked back. After the opening oli, she will share the mele she has composed or had composed for Ernest right after his passing, called He Mele no Kamanu O'o, in which she compares that rare black bird of this region to Ernest and the charisma that he exuded as a dancer and as a person. So this is how Mauli explained her inspiration for the mele that she wrote. She says, Ernest Morgan was an exceptional human being. He touched all of our hearts with an artistry in dance and his joy in life. His passing left us all in grief for his absence and gratitude for the legacy he left behind, like the o'o bird. Ernest was elegant in his blackness. This beautiful, now extinct bird was said to have had the sweetest song of all the forest birds. Its feathers were gathered to create adornments for our ali'i. The many lessons and memorable moments Ernest blessed us with have continued to adorn our hearts and spirits since his departure to join the ancestors.
Ita o duane ka mauriola, wow, mai ka pina ka velu na kala. Ka iko ia ika ike mano mano. Ka ike kori umai o kikilo mai. O ka uno i o ka mulama. Apa amaga ipu o ka ike. Hemele no Hawaii wau. Makoko.
Everybody know Kofu Manawa.
For all of us. Thank you. Thank you so much for consecrating the ceremony. It's a ceremony today. Don't you feel that? Yeah, I do too, all day. There are 3 parts to the concert, and please refer to your program for more information if you need any, and all the performers' bios. You can think of the first part of this concert as being the foundation, the beginning of the Renaissance of both Hawaiian culture and the birth of the contemporary arts community in Volcano. It was quite a time. When Ernest first relocated to the island after a career in Europe and New York City, he and his island dance cohorts, Trina and Richard, or Richie, Richard Koob, studied with renowned kumu hula and cultural practitioner Auntie Edith Kanakaole. They also spent many an hour just talking story with her about hula, dance, and life. How wonderful that must have been. It was Auntie Edith who coined Ernie's hybrid dance style as African hula, which became his signature. The next 4 offerings will flow into each other, first with a poem by Gwen George entitled Hawaii Moku o Keawe, celebrating the natural environments of this island. Then we are treated to a video with footage of Ernest and others during this time period. So we're going to go back and do some time travel together. It's delightful, beautiful. And so we'll have some of Ernest also talking about his environmental dance inspiration too, and how he sees his role as a dancer in this life. Following that, we'll be showcasing his African hula style contemporary dance genre called Mele o Koho'olawe. Okay, and here's Gwen with her poem, Moku o Keawe.
Moku o Keawe, Hawaii, the big island I am. Youngest, largest of an 8-island volcanic chain of lava-molded wonders. One of the most isolated island chains in the world, residing where the waters are the deepest and the bluest, middle of the Pacific Ocean. My island, with its volcanoes, Kohala, Mauna Kea, Mauna Loa, Hualalai, Kilauea, form my landscape. Reminders of the prevailing, majestic, mysterious expansion. Descending thousands of feet at depths beyond some of the reefs to its underwater base. Ascending above sea level into the atmosphere with rarefied air above cloud formations is Mauna Kea, the tallest mountain in the world. Promises of indefinable virginal discoveries looming controversy. Scientists' telescopes aim out into space. Atop Mauna Kea's zenith point, probing, investigating, intruding, disturbing. Kilauea, within its womb, Pele, the volcano goddess, dwells, sending occasional power warnings, alerting the populace, helping to keep humility in check. As narcissism, greed, avarice intrude cognitive balance. LA speaks, spitting, spewing, hot, black, liquid, molten lava, solidifying into cracked pieces of stone. Ahoy! Black slabs of crystalline earth. Pele has spoken. Moku o Keawe, trampling on the rawness of my exposed landscapes, paniolas, sunbathers, geologists, film workers with machetes, hula dancers, ukulele players, honeymooners, laced together securely, snuggly like vines in the sweetly cold. Curious probers from everywhere they come. Bangkok, Kenya, New Delhi, down under, Himalayan slopes, Alaskan wilderness, Midwest, Mid-East, Wall Street, strolling, gazing, photographing, polluting, protecting, coming and going. Invasive, non-invasive trees and plants from locations as remote as the touch of a falling star. Floral spectacles, aromatic, intoxicating scents. Dreamers imagining could not conjure the complexity of nature, this complexity of nature. The botanist's realized vision surrounded in an awe-fulfilled utopia. Animals share my big island terrain. Large ones, small ones, crawling ones, hopping ones. Sequestered cockfighter roosters cry out for release. Cocky chants. An almost forgotten melody diminish into future promises. Chiseled out hollows within gulches Thrill-seeking hikers access trails to thunderous, bass-sounding waterfalls dropping into clear, sometimes bottomless pools arched over by rainbows with endless tales of Menahunis. Mountain trails and deserts and rainforests and snow-topped mountains and fields of green and springtime yellow and sunshine and seemingly unending rain all thrive here in my domain. Flawless nightfall, star-filled marvelousness soulfully delights nocturnal observers. Eternal rays of sun overtake the surrendering night. Trade winds blow across landscapes. Palm-kissed petals spray their surroundings on this lava, molded wonder, the big island of Hawaii, Mokuoku, Keawe.
Huli aku huli mai huli lua e. Huli aku huli mai huli lua e.
Hula, in its original intent, I think relates very well to ballet in the sense that it was to elevate the minds of those who watched, and it combined poetry and music and movement, and drew its imagery from nature.
Ernest Morgan is the acting artistic director of the Honolulu City Ballet Company. Legend tells us of a struggle and a love affair between the pig god Kamapuaa and Madame Helen. The struggle is expressed in this dance, and it is hard to tell if it is lovemaking or competition.
The whole mythology is so incredible. The whole idea of him being able to, just whenever he wanted to, change himself into a man, you know. And as a dancer, you should be able to do that, I think. You should magically be able to become whatever a child or an old woman or whatever you really are required to be, that you dissolve into that the people sense that in you.
Ernest was raised here in the islands, and this has had a strong influence on his approach to the kinds of work the ballet company performs. He has brought to the Honolulu City Ballet a whole new type of choreography, which draws most of its inspiration from the imagery of the islands.
We have to be very mixed. And we continue to work in our classical techniques, so when the opportunities provide themselves for that, we do that. But for the audiences of Hawaii, they like to enjoy themselves and to share and to see people projecting with beauty.
For you have a view.
Since it's all new, there can be questions, and there are questions from some people about whether or not this is a ballet tradition, and it's what tradition it really is. I'm not clear about myself. I know that I have trained in these various forms, so I've taken some of the things from the hula tradition and brought some of the things that I know work because of the Western dance tradition of classical ballet, and that integration is pretty much what I'm working with.
Some of these dances that we're working with today, Mele Kaho'olawe, what kind of imagery did you draw that from?
That one became very strong to me because of the whole movement to save Kaho'olawe. And then the Olamana song, Mele Kaho'olawe, to me was such a beautiful lament. And the words of it are so strong. With all those things, it just came forth. And then the ballet was no better place to make it for the people to see. And we do dances for people and to speak for Hawaii and the land. It's what I think the ballet company should do.
Ernest has studied under local dancers Iolani Luahini and Edith Kanakaole in the ancient Hawaiian tradition of hula. Their influence has helped him to translate the imagery of Hawaii into dance.
Literally see that and draw from the land and the beauty that you're seeing of swaying trees and of ocean waves. And that kind of imagery, if you can project it, that's what we're training ourselves for as dancers. To sense that imagery and to be able to do it in your body and then project that to the audience or for yourself or for your God.
I'd like basically to see the programming of the ballet become what the people would like to see. In other words, what the people would like to go to. And if it happens to be that they want more things in the jazz or contemporary music fashion, then we have to do a program of that, and that they should come and support it for that. And if it's really a time where they want to see more traditional classical work, then that audience should come and support. So basically, I think the ballet company should be prepared to perform and share to whatever audiences it is making itself available to.
It's no longer enough just to dance about those things, about Ohana and Ho'oponopono, but you must live them. So how you live your life is pretty much the way you're going to reflect your art.
My art happens to be one that involves not paint or not wood, but people. And so I have to work with dancers in order to create. Everybody has said that's come here that the Hawaiian ballet, if we're going to have anything that's going to ever go away from here or even survive here, it has to reflect what is here.
No, there's hardly any words for that. Yeah? So many of us remember him in this way. Let me share the impetus for this ballet, composed that you heard when they were dancing about Kaho'olawe, yeah? It was composed by Harry Kunihi Mitchell in tribute to his son, Kimo Mitchell, and George Helm, who died in their activism to save Kaho'olawe from its use as a military bombing target in the 1970s. Many of us remember this time. It took 15 years, but against all odds, Hawaiian activists were able to wrest the sacred site away from the military ownership and reclaim it as an important historical site, which is seen as the sacred center of Hawaiian culture up until today. The last piece in this part, entitled Ku'uhome o Kahalu, became his signature piece, displaying his prowess as a modern dancer infused with the grace and story of the islands. This song by Jerry Santos of Olomana and the dance created was one of my personal favorites. And I don't know about you, but whenever I hear that first strum, I always think of Ernest. I know we're going to have a visit with him. He'll be right in the car with us, or, we just feel him, yes. And it's like he's arrived for a brief visit, and then he goes back to wherever he was, or forward. The performer of this piece is Kea Kapahua, who studied with us and Trina when she was just 13 years old. She went on to study and perform on the mainland and was recently hired as UH Hilo's instructor in dance, a position created by Ernest in the 1970s. And now our beloved Kea, dancing Ku'uhome o Kahalu.
I remember days when we were younger. We used to catch opu in the mountain stream. Round the Kolau hills we'd ride on horseback. So long ago it seems it was a dream. Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart called out to you. But I fear you won't be like I left you. Meke aloha kuhome o kahalu. I remember days when we were wiser, when our world was small enough for dreams, and you have lingered there, my sister, and I no longer can, it seems. Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart called out to you. But I fear I am not as I left you. Meke aloha kuhome o kahalu. we laughed and sang the whole night long. And I will greet you as I find you, with the sharing of a brand new song. Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart called out to you to please accept me as you find me. Ke aloha ku home o ka hanuku, ke aloha ku home o ka hanuku, ke aloha ku home o ka hanuku.
Really felt the earnest presence there too. Yeah, and such gorgeous dance, gorgeous dancer. Thank you, Kea. Now we're entering part 2 of our dance journey and introduce the wonderful vocal stylings of Rhea Fox, who also performed with Ernie and Dance O Hawaii in the 1970s as both a dancer and vocalist. The second part presents an incredible range of tempos and feelings, beginning with the classic Summertime, into an original piece called Ho'opapa, structured especially for this event, with live music, structured improvisation, and invited, listen up, invited audience participation, okay? Do anything can happen, and join in the fun.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich, and your mom's so good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you will rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. Till the morning, there is nothing can harm you. With your mommy and daddy standing by. With your mommy and daddy standing by. Summertime and the living's so easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mom's so good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you will rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take the sky. Till that morning, there is nothing can harm you. With your mommy and daddy standing by. With your mommy and daddy standing by. With your mommy and daddy standing by.
The last piece in this section was choreographed in 1977 by Trina Namio. Trina girl! Yep, I'm with you. She would like to share this. My first son, Renge, which means opening lotus blossom, was born in the days when Ernie and company were on a 24/7 dance anywhere, rampage, eat, sleep, dream, dance. Thus, Renge was raised in endless rehearsals, touring, performances, backstage, dance wings, but his birth taught me more about life and love than anything could ever be said in words, could ever be described in words. This piece was choreographed shortly after his birth, when I was filled with the wonder at the tenacity of his soul. He's 47 now and drives a train far from the dance world. Yeah, Trina.
Anyway, I want to tell you a story. Don't worry, it won't be too long. And this happened just after Ernest's passing. So I was by myself at Richardson's Beach, and I was feeling really depressed and morose. And then a kupuna I knew from Kona walked up to me, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your friend's passing, but get plenty young ones, yeah?" And I went, bingo! That kind of shook me out of my depression, and I realized I had a lot of work to do. And so I was very thankful for that kupuna who walked by that day. So we are actually moving into the third section of our evening program. And I did have to bring my notes up. And last section is a tribute to the vitality and energy of our upcoming generation. And it's my pleasure to introduce 4 dancers. They have their own style, and they're also wonderful teachers, and they teach all over the island, so we're very proud of them. They have different styles of dancing. Excuse me. And so in quick succession, you're going to see Evan and Orion. And then Cara, Jojo, and Rachel. So without further ado, here is the young bunch.
We're going to have another section here. So here's the end of our program coming up. And we just want to, again, I just want to have a chance before everything ends to say hello and goodbye, and to let you know that I really appreciate everything that you've done coming here today, supporting the Arts Center, supporting Dance on Hawaii. Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and move into a piece that is something that I wrote, yours truly, and really speaks to the human connection to the environment, and how everything is alive and available to us that we can converse with. And so we're going to end the program with this. And please sit still afterwards. We have another something coming up. Okay? Little treat. They are two sisters, forces locked in the ebb and flow of fern and fire. Their bond is old. They have become like the trunks of trees that over time entwine in one another's embrace. They are one bark flesh, one song of stone, and things that need stone. They are older than ideas of human time. And they are felt in the trembling of the earth and the brush of trees upon the sky. They are daughters of patience, daughters of stone. For what is more tenacious than the roots of trees that push like worms through the black soil and rocks of this place? And what is more patient than stone? Who will listen? who will hear our song? Those who need us as much as we need each other. I'm just a rock. I'm just a rock. It's simple to know my purpose. I'm here. I've been here a long time. And eventually I become earth. You chose me. You were passing by and you picked me out of a field of stones that looked just like me. And I am like you. I was waiting, and I chose you. I have something to say. So listen. I'm just a rock, but I think you are here because we need your voice. You hear us where others may walk by, and you give us words, and there's so much we would say. So be our voice. Sing out our truths for us. Write them somewhere so others can read them. Hold up your arms. Cry them out. Dream them in your sleep. Be the eyes of the earth, open to the night, awake to the stars. Tell us of things to come. Tell us of things to come. Paint them on canvas or cave walls. Dance them in ancient temples anywhere. Chant them, playing the drum for them. And while you're here, why, all of us are here. And while we can still hear, listen. Somewhere, there's smooth, hardened lava warming in the sun. Yes. We all could use that lava to have a nice sun bath, yeah? Somewhere, there's smooth, hardened lava warming in the sun and the soft murmur of the ocean nearby. Go there and lay down. You will hear the first small plants seeded by birds emerging.
It's a postcard. This place has always been mine. You may live here as long as I say so. Warmest regards, Pele.
Okay. That's the end of our show. Thank you for coming. Please, I'm sorry, but could you just hold on for one moment? There is a little surprise. And here he is. All the way from Aotearoa.
Kume, kume, totoia. Kume, kume, totoia. Hettora kite taha, taha. Hettora kite tapare. Koko. Tara, waikude, kude. As you can see, it's a canoe. But not one of those flashy ones that water flying out of the back and shooting across. No. Me and my uncles. Hey, uncle, you thought of what? No. So, here we go. That's the first part of me. Our people used to live here, and these generous people shared with me their culture, and so I'll just show you a little bit of ours. And so that's the canoe part, yeah? The canoe. And it took us from Hawaii all the way down to New Zealand. Yeah, and so they see us going. Harara kapana iya! Abatanurate manuhiri rumete upaka ite kamarane te mudala mayate aroha. Sorry to wake you up. Iya! Oka takupu kahina uera. I came back to Hawaii and all these people been taking care of me. And so if you're lucky, in the next 10, 15 years, you come back here, I'll be here.
Thank you for coming. Have a good, safe drive home. Or hang out with us and mingle. It'd be wonderful to get to know you. Thank you. I'm glad you came.